How are all of you doing out there? It's the man, the myth, the legend, Quad MFT here. Today, I've got an advice video, guys. You know, every Wednesday, my dad and I like to upload advice videos. So, Dad, introduce yourself.
Hey, what is up, Warriors? It's the Quad Father here. And today, what do we have? 3?
Yeah, I think we've got 3 and a little bit of a bonus one at the end.
All right. Let's hear the first one.
All right, here's the first one titled Need Help Advice. Hey, Quad, so this year I'm a freshman in high school, and there's this pretty girl that sits next to me in one of my classes, and she's in 2 other classes of mine, supposing that she doesn't sit next to him in those classes because he mentioned that she did in the first one. So I decided to talk to her, and we are now friends, but like one of those in-school type of friends. I get that. We talk to each other almost every day, usually small talk, and every once in a while she will ask me for help on homework or something. I really want to ask her out, but he's not writing this very well, but I really want to ask her out. But the thing is, she talks to a lot of other guys, and she knows that I'm better than her, or that she knows them better than I know her. I feel like she would just say no because I don't know her as well as some of the other guys do. What should I do? A reply would be nice, but I'm feeling, but feel free to use this on a video. So clearly we're using this on a video because you guys are watching this right now. But what should he do, Dad? What's your advice?
Well, you know, I think if she knows all these guys and she's still talking to him, that means he's in the running. Because if she had a boyfriend, he would know it. Yeah, he would know it. And you know, anytime you're dealing with girls, I think first of all, you're in trouble.
Yeah, kind of.
Because if you're trying to figure them out, you're never really going to be able to figure them out because they're fickle. They like a guy, they don't like a guy, they like, so you can't really ever figure it out. So anytime I was dating and I thought about dating a girl, I just made friends with the worst outcome. Okay.
What do you mean?
What I mean is, what's the worst that can happen if you ask her out?
Yeah,
what's the worst?
She can say no, and then you don't talk to her.
Yeah, and then you.
What?
Well, I don't know.
Then you keep talking to her.
Then you move on.
Exactly. You say no. Like, okay, and if she says yes, and there's a chance she'll say yes. So if she says yes, then you basically just won. But if she says no, so what? Just find another girl.
I used to hang out with a guy when I was going to the bars, and when I was 19. No, when I was 21 and a little older. And you know what? This guy would get a girl every night. And you know how he did it? It took a while. We were going out several times before I figured out his game. Here's his game.
What's the game?
Approach 15 women.
Exactly. It's a numbers game.
Right. So
it's true.
Yeah, and whereas
oh my gosh, this guy's a player. Who cares?
He was. I would get focused.
But he's a beast.
I would get focused on one girl, and then I would work all night trying to figure out how to get close to her, ask her to dance, and those types of things. And I'd usually strike out. So if it doesn't matter which girl, which I'm not saying it should, but there's lots of girls in school to try to ask out. So I would say make friends with the worst outcome. She says no, that's fine.
Move on. Find another girl. There's plenty of girls out there. You may say, oh no, this is the only girl I can see. This is my only opportunity. Dude.
No, it's not.
No, it's
not. It's not. I mean, there's plenty. I mean, look around. We were at PAX.
Yeah.
And I got to say, some of the guys there weren't the best looking. Didn't look like they had the most on the ball.
Yeah.
They were with girls.
Exactly. It's a numbers game. So let's move on to the next question. Right. Hopefully that guy can figure out what he needs to do. But this one says, hey, Quad MFT, need some help / advice. Right now, I'm in 8th grade. So I was in 8th grade last year, guys. So I'm about 1 year older than this guy. He said, and I'm having trouble with school attentiveness, which is like paying attention. If you guys don't know what that means. He says, it sounds dumb, but please help. That's what I'm here for. I've always been a straight A student forever. And this year, I'm slacking off and not getting good grades. And this year I've been terrible with girls, and there are a lot of pretty girls at my school. What should I do? Please help and keep making awesome advice COD vids. Thanks, man.
Okay, so I think you should start on this one. It's a two-parter, right? We have the attentiveness in school and a pretty girls, and he's striking out.
All right, so yeah, my first thing with the attentiveness to school is in the beginning of high school, which is this year for me, my first year of high school, grade 9 or 9th grade. I really struggled. You know, I was struggling with paying attention, having all these little, all these different distractions that can really go on. So I just basically the main distraction that I noticed, I kind of narrowed it down and realized that it was mainly my phone, because you can use your phone in high school basically whenever you want. You know, you can't use it in class, but there's a few classes, like I have a few classes now that I can use it in, but that would easily get me distracted. So many different little things would go on, and I just wouldn't be able to pay attention. You know, I'd still get my work done, but it wouldn't be the best work that I could possibly do.
Okay, so you figured out, you watched what was distracting you. So that's part of the advice, right? Is figure out what it is that's distracting you. And it's, to be honest, this is a really, really common thing, especially at that age and at your age, because social becomes so much more important than anything else.
Yep.
Okay, it's more important.
I don't think it's true,
school. Though. Well, it is important, and you're trying to figure it out.
It's important to you, but it's not now.
Oh, well,
it didn't matter for you. It doesn't matter for you now, right?
For
your
me?
high school sociability.
No,
or
I
however
barely remember it, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean,
see?
I can remember a few events or
Yeah.
weeks or tests or whatever, but by and large, I really don't remember it.
Yeah, see,
You know?
people act like all these little things, they matter so much, and they act like it's going to be the end of your life if you get a C on this test, dude. You know, C's to get degrees, right, Dad? Yes, they
but
do.
I
They
don't
do.
like to
You
say
can't
that.
deny.
But C's don't necessarily get you into college. Not
They get
not a
degrees.
decent college. They get you into community college or grade 13.
What's wrong with community college?
Well, it's not as good as university.
No, C's don't get you grade 13.
Yeah, they do.
No, they don't.
They
If
don't
I get
get
C's in
they
all my
don't-
classes,
You don't get into a university.
I get out of high school.
Okay, but that's okay. Whatever. That's out of high school is not a degree,
Oh,
and that was your point.
I like that degree.
That's called
No,
a
that's a
diploma.
good-
It's not a degree.
Same thing.
No, they're different. But you
Okay.
haven't finished high school yet, so what do you know?
Barely even started.
Okay,
though.
so what's the second part of this guy's question?
He asked that he used to be really good with girls, and now he sucks. I feel that, dude. I mean, not
Okay.
necessarily with girls, but you know, it's weird that I'm relating girls to Call of Duty. But I feel like back in Modern Warfare 3, in the beginning of Black Ops 2, I was this phenomenal player. Like I would pull off 100 pluses after 100 pluses after double mobs after triple mobs after all these crazy gameplays that I could do.
Okay.
And now I just, I don't know. I feel like I can't do that. Even though I know I can, and I know if I actually tried and did what I did back then, I really could.
Okay.
Now it's just like, I don't know. I'm not slacking, but I'm putting on music and talking to all my different friends and all these different things. And,
Well,
you know,
let me ask you a question. Okay, let's say you have a friend and he sucks with girls. He never has a good girlfriend or whatever, right? So for a couple years, he's dating or trying to date, and he never gets a date with any pretty girls.
yeah, okay.
And then he gets a date, and he starts going out with this beautiful girl. I mean, way above his league, right? He
Yeah.
outkicks his coverage for sure.
Yeah.
Right. What do you think of him?
I think he's a beast.
That's right. That's right. So back to my original thing about the girls. You know what? It only takes one beautiful girl. It only takes 100 plus game, one chem, before
Yeah.
you say, "Wow, I'm back on. I'm in the
It's
game
true, yeah.
again."
If I were to go on and pull off a triple mob right now, I'd be like, wow, I'm a beast.
Right.
And I
Exactly.
just-
So just like this guy, you know,
it's just
there's
try
lot-
and try and try.
Right. And you know what? To be honest, girls like it when you become friends with them and talk to them and get to know them.
Yeah, but they don't want someone who's like super caring and all that. Like,
No, that was-
no. They think they want it. They're like, oh, I want some guy who's super caring, always there, always attentive,
Right,
always everything,
right.
everything. No, you don't.
That was my problem. Is I got stuck in the friend zone all
Mm-hmm.
the time. Girls would talk to me about all the guys they wanted to date. And I'm like, dude, I want to date you. Why are you talking to me about this guy? That way I
Yeah.
knew I was stuck in the friend zone. So you
Yep.
don't want to stay in the friend zone too long, but girls fall for guys when they get to know them.
Very true. All right, let's move on to the next question. This was said advice. Hey, Quad, I wasn't really sure to talk to you and Quad farther about this, but knowing that you're only a year younger than me, so he's in 8th grade or he's 13 years old, which is basically
No,
the
you're a
same
year
thing.
younger than me. So
You're-
he's a sophomore.
You're only a year. Oh, okay. Sorry, I read that incorrectly, but I'm kind of the nerdy kid at school and don't have many friends, and no girls really like him. So it's really
Okay.
depressing. And I know your dad's a counselor, which he is, and can give me advice. You're a freshman, so you probably already have a girlfriend, which no, I don't. But you can give me any advice on how to get friends and not be all sad all the time because I can't get a girl. Love you, Quad. No homo, which to him I say full homo. And you don't have to add this to your video series, but you can. You're #1 subscriber, so I thought I'd do it anyway. It sounds really interesting, but
So that homo thing's not really why you don't have a girlfriend, is it?
no.
Okay, good. Because I just was going to love you a little less. I mean, I
Yeah,
still love
exactly.
you,
Of
but
course,
just a little
of course.
less.
Yeah.
Okay. So he's actually he's saying I don't have girls. I'm kind of a
doesn't have
nerdy kid.
friends,
All right.
yeah.
So what I say is do what you love.
Do what
okay?
you love and love what you do.
Sure. That doesn't really
I don't
relate
know.
to this.
I don't
but-
know, dude. Freestyle.
No, okay. So no, if he just goes and pursues his interest, the things that he actually enjoys.
There are other people that are nerdy out there. Let's say you're really into League of Legends. There's millions of people out there who like League of Legends. There's tons of people who like Call of Duty. There's tons of people who like freaking Rubik's cubes.
Right.
I don't know what it is.
Right.
Just-
And
there's
they're
you're
girls
not the only
too.
one. Yeah,
Supposedly,
very true.
I just read an article today about the new Xbox and the new commercial and how it was offensive to girls because the guy was playing the video games and the girl wasn't.
lame. Well, that's dumb. You know?
Well, they said 50% of gamers are girls.
Come on. Like,
So if you love gaming, do that. Talk about that. There will be a girl that has a similar interest.
and
You'll
if you
get
say
to know
you have
her.
no friends, go out and do social activities. Talk to people. Talk to people on Instagram and Ask FM and Twitter and all these things. Kids nowadays, all they do is social media.
Yeah, a lot of your friends that you actually discovered that people know you from Call of Duty and YouTube, and they actually go to your school. So
Yeah, it's
virtual
crazy.
friends can become
I
real
know.
life friends.
And here's the little quick little bonus question we got from Green Goblin HD. Most of you guys probably know him. He says,
heard of
need
him.
advice from Quad Father. He's like my best friend. But
All right,
he
let's
says,
do it.
I met my GF on Xbox Live, but I can't touch her, so I cuddle my teddy bear every night. What should I do? I'd say, I don't know. What should he do?
Cuddle your teddy bear rapidly.
Rapidly. And you know what I mean by rapidly. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a like down below if you didn't, or if you did enjoy. That was really fast. I'm kind of like an auctioneer, but make sure to check out my social media links down in the description below. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. It's been Quad. See you next time.
See ya in the teddy bear.